connecting Arizona. Live from the 12 News studios at 200 East Van Buren. This is 12 News at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. For some, it would be a nightmare. For others, a dream come true. But think about this for a second. Could you imagine a world with no technology, nothing electronic? And let's face it, most of us live by our electronic devices.
People lining up to buy the next iPhone or iPad. We're constantly checking text messages and emails. How many times have you waited and waited for the best airline price?
Or maybe in one of those lines at midnight to see the next big movie. Revolution was the first TV series to take inspiration from the Hunger Games franchise.
Tonight, Aurelia Ortega spoke to some people who say if the blackout happens, they'll be ready. Aurelia?
These people will definitely be ready, Lynn Sue. Between food and supplies and other survival essentials, a couple I spoke with told me they've easily spent $30,000 getting ready just in case they have to live off the grid.
I mean, there's nothing that I put in my pantry that I don't have a date on.
Lori Beavers keeps her pantry packed with enough food to feed her entire family of 8 for 3 years.
This is my planning. This is just in case something happens.
For Lori, a prepper, being ready for anything from a bad economy to a nuclear disaster is a lifestyle.
I do prepping on all levels, and I probably am a little bit more extremist because when I do prepping, I interview, I talk to people, I watch YouTube, and I find out what other people are doing out.
Lori and her husband own Freedom Military Surplus in Mesa, a place frequented by preppers. Preppers get themselves ready for any given situation with first aid supplies, weapons for protection, water, and of course, food.
People are uncertain in these times, and they want that comfortability to know that they have food storage.
Lori is determined if something should happen, her family will eat well.
I do dehydrating, I do canning. In the box is apple pie filling, spiced apples, spiced peaches, pickled cauliflower, barbecue pork, green chili pork, sausage, and these are even hot dogs.
Tim Ralston, a survival expert who owns Gear Up Center in Scottsdale, points out that even the government suggests you should have 7 days of food and water.
So you never know when that disaster is going to hit and whether it's going to be something really long-term or something real short. So my motto has always been prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
And that's what Lori and her husband have done.
And I always just make a joke. You know, in 20 years, if nothing's happened, I throw it in the garbage and say, ha, look what I did.
Aurelia Ortega, 12 News.
Aurelia, thanks. So the Red Cross and FEMA both say every family should have at least a 2-week supply of food and water on hand. Canned items like meat, soup, jars of peanut butter, things like that. Also medical and hygiene supplies, as well as a radio, flashlights, batteries, and some money and matches in a waterproof container. But in all honesty, how many of us really have this stuff laying around and ready to go? It has to be part of your mindset, though, to plan ahead. Psychiatrist Dr. Michael Yasinski is with us tonight. Michael, thanks for coming down tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So forget the show for a second, which was just on NBC about surviving.
Right.
Are there some people who are preoccupied with the notion that life as we know it is going to change dramatically and soon?
Yeah, I think this is almost dating back to the turn of the Y2K eras when I first really started to notice that. And since there's been so many movies and portrayals and predictions, and recently with these string of movies and TV shows, I think it's really adding to this belief in some people that the world is coming to an end. However, due to their different backgrounds, their bringing up, their childhood, their personalities, some take it to such an extreme that I think it often becomes unhealthy and they go overboard. So while most things are good in moderation, and I do agree that following the recommendations of a couple weeks of food sounds reasonable, you get these people that are taking it too far where it's almost interfering in their life and becoming a negative thing.
Which kind of leads me to my next question. Some people might consider survivalists, preppers, whatever you want to call them, paranoid or obsessive. How do you categorize someone planning for the end, and when does it become a problem?
When I look at someone, if it's problematic, so if you're evaluating someone to look at, is this really paranoia, or is this beyond reality or beyond normal? You really want to look at the functional status of the person. So, you know, are these people still functioning on a good level in their daily lives? Do they still function normally at work? Still function normally with a family? You know, are they in general doing a good job in life, but just in addition, they take some time to hoard some food and pack away food? But that's more the rarity. Usually you get these people that pack away that much stuff, and it almost turns into their life mission to spend time shopping, preparing, building. Everything kind of focuses around it. So when the focus turns to that, rather than it just being a small part of their life, I think that's when problems is evident.
Let me ask you real quickly. Hunger Games was a blockbuster. This show, Revolution, that aired tonight, has 8 million views online. 8 million.
Right.
Why do people, do you think, gravitate towards this type of survivalist fiction? One of the guys in Aurelia's story said it's just, it's kind of, people are worried out there because of the times that we're going through.
Yeah, I think you have probably two components. One, people, just like people love to watch other people get killed or beat up or murdered. They have that fascination with other people's lives being destroyed. They also have a fascination for just society as a whole is being destroyed. And then what's going on in reality with, you know, all the weapons and the bombs and everything like that, that just feeds the flames of an already really interested population in this kind of stuff. And I really think the more of these movies that come along really is going to start to be unhealthy and unproductive for people hoarding away supplies and stopping contributing to life in a normal way. And that, honestly, that is kind of scary.
Doctor, thanks so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
Sure, thanks.